I'll be the first to admit it. Sometimes we get so caught up in growing, scaling, and running ads that we forget the simple stuff that actually got us to where we are. I was recently reminded of this by some new scoopers in our PSM community in the school app, and honestly, it brought me right back to my roots. Today I want to share some of the free and creative methods I used when I started Department of Duty and how they can still work for you right now. If you're new to this channel, my name is Justin. I'm the owner of Department of Duty. I started this business 7 years ago in the DFW area, and we now service over 1,000 clients with 8 full-time employees in multiple cities across DFW. And I've spent years building up systems to allow this business to run without me being in it every single day. But here's the truth. I did not get here by dumping money into ads. I got here by doing creative, free stuff that I'm about to share with you. In the very beginning, when I had 0 clients, I was a little embarrassed about what I had started, and I was worried about what friends and family would say. So the first thing I did was create a free Craigslist ad. I think they cost about $5 now, but 7 years ago, it was completely free. So I threw up a makeshift logo that I did on, I think like Paint or Adobe or one of those programs. I just had like a dog and a little simple something. And I put information, basically just saying who I was and what I was doing. I shared a few pictures of my own yard, my own dogs, and their poop that I scooped. Nobody needs to know that, right? But it just showed what I was doing and that I was capable of doing it. Unfortunately, after about, I'd say 2 months, I had 1 client. I was doing 1 client 1 day a week after work, every single week for $12.50. When I started telling people about this, their comments were always the same. You know, you're wasting your time. It's taking you, 2 hours to drive out there, 1 hour to drive out there, scoop the yard, and an hour back home. They're like, you're basically getting paid $6 an hour, not even counting your gas. And it got to me a little bit, but I would always think in my head that they just didn't see the bigger picture, right? I was at least getting experience from the one that I was doing, and I was kind of thinking, I had a magnet on my car. And so I was thinking, hey, the farther I drive and the farther I drive back, that's just more people on the road that's gonna see my magnet, right? So I kept going, and about 2 months in, something happened with the Craigslist ad. I was refreshing it all the time. And I remember, 2 months in, it was 2 months of doing her yard. So I guess it's about 3 months into the business. I got 5 new clients within about a week and a half, right? That put me at 6 clients, and I was charging $12.50 basically for 2 dogs once a week back then. And so my average ticket was $50 a month. So those 6 clients, and I remember this, I was sitting at my house when I think 2 of them came in almost at the same time. I got them all set up, told them what day I would be there, and ran in and told my wife, I said, I just got my 6th client. And we charge them on a monthly basis, right? So I might have charged them $12.50, once or twice right then. But back then we had 1 credit card, and that credit card was maxed out at $300. It was a secure credit card. So, I put my own money on it and then spent that, and then we were maxed out. So when that 6th client came in, my brain thought about the first of the next month. It's the first of the month. I was thinking, we're gonna charge all 6 of these $50. That's $300. I'm paying off that credit card, right? And we did. It was awesome, and it was like the highlight of our year. But the bigger part of that 6th client, right, that gave me that $300, that paid off that credit card, the biggest thing that came from that was the confidence boost for me. Because I'm thinking, I just paid off a credit card picking up other people's dog poop, right? It was simple, it was easy, and I paid off a credit card with that. In 1 month, we got enough to pay off a credit card. So that gave me the confidence to break out and tell everybody what I was doing, right? Because I knew once I shared in those Facebook buy-sell pages of the neighborhood groups that all of my friends were gonna see that post, right? Especially the public ones, if they're in the group. And I did check those groups to see if I had any friends that were in there too, and almost all of them had friends in there. And so that $300 and that paid off credit card basically gave me a paradigm shift where I said, I don't care. I'm doing something good here. That was great. I feel good. It's not gonna bother me what anybody says anymore. And so I waited till the next day. I'm at my full-time job and I had a picture in my phone of my yellow bucket sitting in one of my clients' yards, a really beautiful yard in South Lake. And I had snapped a photo basically of the bucket full of poop. Of course, I put a little poop emoji over it because nobody wants to see that. And I shared that photo in all of the buy-sell groups in my area, all of the neighborhood pages. I just shared it. And I found out that if you make a post on your business Facebook page and you hit share, you can actually choose all the groups that you're in with your personal page. And so it was super easy. I was kind of nervous about it because there was so many. Thought I was gonna get kicked out of them. I probably did get kicked out of one or two, but you basically just choose all these groups and then send, and it just sends a blast out, right? And so I shared the picture and I was just like, hey, thanks for everybody that signed up for my post last week. You know, there was no post last week, but I mean, technically there was a Craigslist post and I had 6 clients that had signed up within that, 2 or 3 months of that. But basically that's just what I went off of. I said, for my last post, thanks to everybody that signed up. I still have a few spots left if anybody is looking to get their dog poop picked up. I'm your guy. And I think I even put on there $12.50 a week. And so I posted that, I think like the minute of my lunch break, right at 12 o'clock I posted it. 20, 30 minutes goes by. There's a lot of comments on these posts. And then people start messaging me in my messenger, asking for a price. Tell me how many dogs they have, how often they want me coming out. Some people were wanting 2 to 3 times a week. Some people were wanting every 2 weeks. And so I just started giving them prices, how much it would cost for the initial visit. I think back then I was doing like 30, 40, 50 bucks. I didn't know about the free visits at the time, but I was charging those for initials. And then I was telling them, $11 for 1 dog, $12.50 for 2, or yeah, $12.50 for 2, $13.50 for 3, $14.50 for 4. That was for weekly. I don't recommend those prices today. You will sell yourself short. Things are a lot more expensive these days. And so that post, that day, I went from 6 clients to 30 clients. It got so busy that, and I'm not saying this is gonna happen to you, it was the luck of the day, the time, but if I hadn't have done it, it would never happen is all I'm trying to say. But it got so busy that I even texted my wife and I was like, what are we gonna do? I don't know how to do 30 freaking yards, and these people want me there like as soon as possible. And I'm like, should I delete my posts? And she's always my better side that tells me what I need to hear and doesn't get as freaked out as I do. And she's basically like, keep the post up and we'll drop the kids off with your mom and I'll go with you and we'll get these yards cleaned. And so that's what we did. And so here lately, what I'm trying to say is with the Facebook buy sale groups is that they do work. I have forgotten that with the amount of growth that we've had and where we're at now and the money that I have for ads. And so with these slower months, I've gone back to that, and it has gotten us a few clients. I've been a little more cautious about it because of the size that we are. I don't want anybody talking bad about it or am I getting irritated at us. But man, if you're brand new, what do you have to lose? Nobody knows you. Nobody knows about you. Just spam those groups, because a lot of times, and I'm gonna tell you this too to help you out, a little pro tip. A lot of times people that are commenting the bad things aren't gonna sign up. A lot of people that say, this is a great idea, they're not gonna sign up. From my experience, the people that are not commenting on your posts are the ones that are signing up. That day, I had a lot of comments, but the ones that were signing up, I'm going back through checking all the comments and on the posts that I made. I'm like, these people aren't even commenting. It's like they don't want people to know that they're hiring us. They'll just message you. So you got to pay attention to that messenger, the Facebook Messenger, more than you do the comments, because that's where people are coming in and those people are actually signing up. Another thing I started doing about a year into this business, I had another slow time. I'm still trying to figure out what the slow months are and how to handle them. And so, of course, I didn't have another, jackpot like I had that one, but I would still get a few clients from the buy sell pages and the neighborhood groups and things like that. But another thing that I did a year into this business that really basically doubled my business. This is still no money on ads, right? So I think at the end of the first year, we had around, that 30 clients. And then by the second year of doing this next thing I'm about to tell you, we got to around 60. I think we finished maybe around right at 78, 80 clients the second year. But this really boosted these Facebook posts that I was doing, and it was offering free initial visits. I know that's a bad word and people don't agree with it. People don't like it. They think that you're I don't know, what do they say? Like devaluing our service by doing that. But you look at, there's a dentist office here in my area that's huge. They've got radio ads, they got TV commercials, they got billboards all over the place. They do free teeth cleaning. I don't devalue teeth cleaning and whitening, right? Just because they do it for free. I understand they're doing it for free because they want to get me in. They want me to experience how great they are. They got Beats headphones, they got TVs you can watch while they're doing the work. They want you to come in, experience it for free, and then say, I'm never going anywhere else. That was so easy and so convenient and so comfortable that I'm not going anywhere else, right? It's not devaluing it. It's if you're good at what you do, it's just being able to prove that. That's kind of like the way I think about it, is I'm not devaluing my service. It's that I believe in myself and I believe in my company and I believe in my employees that, when they get into our client portal with Sweep and Go, when they see that they can add their dog's pictures, the names, their birthdays, they get an on the way text. They talk to my office guy, Christopher, he's amazing. They talk to him on the phone. He loves on them. They love it. They laugh and have a good conversation with him. That makes them feel comfortable. That makes them feel like they are in good hands. And then when my guys show up, they're in a wrapped truck. They're in a uniform. They look good. They're sending out an on-the-way text. They scoop the yard. They're leaving a welcome bag on the back door with a tennis ball and a poop bag dispenser and some goodies that are in this bag. And so that's kind of going above and beyond. And then when we're out of the yard, we're taking a picture of the gate. It goes straight to their phone, letting them know to have a good day. Your gate's secure. They don't have to go out there and check it. They don't got to make sure that it's closed before they bring the dogs in or before they let their dogs out. And so for me, doing a free visit was doing just like this dental place does, right? It's letting someone who doesn't know anything about us, who's probably never used this service before, who's probably a little bit skeptical if they want a pooper scooper service. And so it's an easy way to get them in, and then you just love on them. Talk to them on the phone, texting them, very nice, sending an on the way text, letting them experience the Sweep and Go client portal, showing them the picture of their gate, the welcome bag with the goodies. They were not expecting that at all. And so they stay with us. I've had one person take advantage of that in the last, I think that was probably 5 years ago, because it's back when I was scooping. One person got the first free visit, and then the next week when I was on my way, they're like, oh, we decided we don't want this anymore. Nowadays, I would just charge them for a one-time visit. Back then, I didn't know any better, so I was just like, tail in between my legs and just went to the next house and was, upset about it, but I didn't let them know about it. But yeah, it hurt, but it was one out of hundreds, thousands. It was one person that took advantage of it. And so that's my point with the free visits, is it's not devaluing our service, right? If you're not good at what you do, if you don't believe in yourself, then giving them a free visit and having them experience you, that's devaluing this industry. But if you are great, you are good at what you do, you are friendly to your clients, you're doing a good service, and you're touching all these points that I'm talking about, then you are creating value for our industry, because you're getting more people in who probably wouldn't have came in, and they're seeing how amazing it is. So that's my 2 cents on free initial visits. The third tip that I have for you to get new clients when you're just starting out without spending a lot of money, you probably already have business cards, right? People buy those from Vistaprint almost even before they scoop a yard, they're getting business cards. So I'm willing to bet that you already have business cards, or you've already designed one, you're expecting to order them. They're like, they're less than $100 for business cards. And so one thing that did help us in the beginning Not as much as Facebook ads or the free visits, but it did get a couple. There were a couple that I can confirm came from this, so it's worth a shot for you. And that was going to all the pet stores in my area and veterinarian offices and asking if I could leave my business cards. And so they would put them, sometimes there were a lot where I could leave the card, but there were others where I just bought off Amazon, the little acrylic clear card holders. I would buy some cheap ones of those and I would take them with me. That way, if they're like, we don't have anywhere to put business cards, I'd say, well, do you mind if I put this on your counter? Would that be okay? And sometimes they would say, not here, but you can put it over there. It was like a little end table by their chairs or like a bookshelf in the office. Like, you can put them on that. And so I put them there. And it wasn't anything, like 20, 30 clients, but it was a few. And when you're just starting out, a few clients means a lot. Especially nowadays, you're charging $80 to $100 a month. That few clients could pay off a $300 credit card. And so that was one of the things that I really did a lot, that someone reminded me in the PSM group that they're doing that. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get back to that, but maybe even do it better, right? When you show up, take them some donuts, take them some coffee. Say, hey, do you mind if I leave you some donuts? And also, can I put these business cards on your counter? Yeah, who's gonna say no? When you bring them free donuts or free coffee, the little boxes that you can buy with the little spout from, like, I don't know, probably Dunkin' or whatever, that you can bring them and put it on there. Yes, that's spending a little bit of money, but it's still cheaper than ads. And you might be able to leave your cards there. I would try it. I got a few from doing that without donuts or coffee, but hey, that's a way that you can make it even better. I know you're probably thinking that these sound really old-fashioned. Nobody's doing this anymore. Everybody's onto social media marketing. But for you guys just starting out, especially if you started out in June and July sucks. So just to give you a little boost in your morale, if you started in June or July or even right before June and you haven't grown very much at all, I would say stick in it, because those are the worst months for this industry, at least in my experience. But these creative methods do work. When people are bored during the summer and they're just scrolling on their Facebook or their Instagram and they're bored and they see your ads, there's a high chance they're just gonna scroll right past it, right? They're thinking they don't need this. But doing the Facebook, posts on there, people are looking there on there for buying stuff, maybe even hiring services, there's a higher chance. One thing I think I left out on the Facebook stuff is maybe not so much spamming these groups with your posts, but really engaging in some other people's posts and comments, help them out, right? With just any kind of advice that you might know that doesn't have to do with dogs. But so that way they start seeing your name and your profile picture, and they start seeing that you're in the area and that you're helping people out. And then what you want to do is, whenever anybody makes posts about dogs, does anybody know a groomer in the area? Does anybody knows a good vet in the area? If you know of one, tell them. If you can do a little Google search, because apparently they don't want to, do a little Google search, find out who has the most 5 stars in your area for a groomer or a vet, and tell them that person. Say, hey, I know of so-and-so groomers. They'll come to your house and do it for you. I don't do grooming personally, but I own a pet waste removal business, and I know you got dogs, so if you're needing help keeping your backyard clean, let me know. Don't put your phone number, don't put your website, don't make it all spammy. Just say, I also have this. Let me know if there's a chance that you might need me. And those things work. You're building trust with people by helping them in other ways. You're giving them referrals to other companies. You're not giving them your company name. Doesn't sound like you're trying to sell them or spam them. You're just like, hey, I do pet waste removal. If you need help keeping your yard clean, give me a call. But give them a suggestion to what they're asking for, so they're not just like, get out of here, guy. The best thing is, this is all free. Facebook posts, all free. Doesn't cost you anything but your time. And when you're starting a new business, your time is not really valuable, right? You're just trying to get it off the ground. You're not worth anything. You're not running a big company where your time is valuable because you got to do this and you got to do that, and you're wearing many hats, right? You're just trying to get clients to go scoop those yards, doing it for free, doing the Facebook posts and comments. Your time's worth nothing right now. Your job is to get clients so that you can take care of them, you can take care of your family, and eventually you can take care of other people's families by employing them. So if you're just starting out, or you've been in this for a little while and you just can't figure out how to get traction, if you haven't done these things, I recommend you doing them now. Don't do them tomorrow, do them today. Don't worry about it being perfect. You don't even got to use ChatGPT. Just say it from the heart. make a post, make a comment, go talk to your vet offices, go talk to your pet stores, and just get your name out there. If you have any other suggestions that might help out other people, or if you've done these things and they've worked for you, leave a comment and let other people know, right? We're all trying to help each other to grow in this industry and, change our family's lives. And if you want to rub elbows with me or other people that you see on this channel making videos, even other scoopers, there's some out here that have hundreds of clients that are in the Poop Scoop Millionaire group in the school community. Get in there, just read the posts. There are tons of posts. There are hundreds of comments on some of the posts. There's classrooms with videos on how to get commercial clients, how to hire, how to run Facebook, Google ads if you have money for that. Get in there, talk with us, tell us your ideas, listen to our ideas. But remember, knowledge is nothing without implementation. You can learn all the stuff, you can watch all the videos, you can read everything that you want to read, but they're not going to do anything for you unless you go out there and do the things that you're learning. So get out there, scoop some poop, and make it happen. We'll see you on the next one.